Sandra Day O'Connor made history when she became the first woman to serve on the Supreme Court in 1981. Former President Ronald Reagan appointed her to the position, and the Senate confirmed her unanimously. During her nearly 25 years on the country's highest court, O'Connor was considered by many to be the most powerful woman in America. Author Evan Thomas's new book, First, Sandra Day O'Connor, gives what the New York Times calls a fascinating and revelatory portrait of the justice, both on the bench and off. Evan Thomas, good morning.
Hi, Norah.
You had extraordinary access by the O'Connor family. You spoke to her sons, 7 justices, 94 of her 108 law clerks. What do you want us to know about Sandra Day O'Connor?
She looks like a kind of formidable middle-aged lady in those photos. She was actually lively and fun. She liked to dance. She liked dirty jokes. She had great human intelligence. She was a great leader, partly because she knew how to listen. Her body would get very still. She would really listen to you. But she also knew how to dish it out.
Yeah.
This is a woman in a man's world. When she was coming up, she really was the first. 12 years before Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she grew up on this ranch that was a man's world. She learned how to fire a rifle before she was 10 and drive a truck before she was 10. Very self-reliant, very tough, but very great human intelligence. She knew how to deal with others.
You know, in reading your book, though, I'm reminded, is she the most consequential woman in American history to date? Well,
she preserved affirmative action and abortion for 25 years. That is no small thing. You know, the conservatives thought when she got on the court, those things are gone. They're the bête noirs, of course, of the right wing. And she preserved them.
She was
compromising. But this is the key is, it's not that she was a liberal activist at all. She's a conservative. She was a Republican conservative. But she understood the public mood, and she found these compromises, these middle ways to reflect really what America was thinking.
Of course, she graduated from Stanford, along with Chief Justice Rehnquist, who was a couple years older than her. Then they served on the court together for more than 2 decades. You discovered something about their relationship. We had known that they had sort of dated, right, while in college, at law school.
My wife, Osi, and I were going through her letters. And lo and behold, there are 14 love letters from Bill Rehnquist, who had just finished being a law student. This is 1952 at Stanford. And Sandra Day, as she was then. And along about love letter number 6, he says, "Sandy, will you marry me?" They had never even told their families about this. This was totally new. And I think they didn't want to be embarrassed about it. It's a sweet story. Bill Rehnquist ended up marrying somebody he truly loved, and she married somebody she truly loved, but they were an item.
What lessons did she learn from her mother, you point out in the book?
This is important. Her father was an adoring and powerful figure, a real cowboy, but he could be rough. He could be harsh. And her mom, who was a very elegant lady in this dusty ranch, always wore a dress, learned how to not be bullied by her father, but really how not to take the bait. When he came on too strong to her, she just had a way of just rolling with it. And this was so important for Justice O'Connor.
As one of the only women, the first woman, how to deal with men. There's so many great things in this book. Your research is incredible. It is a page-turner. Really important for all of us to learn about one of the most influential, if not the most influential woman in American history.
Thank you.
Evan Thomas, thank you. First, Sandra Day O'Connor is on sale today.